Good morning, my friends. Good golly, you go away for a couple days and all of a sudden you find yourself a bit disheveled and trying to get the technology all back up and running. Good morning to each of you as we jump in here to the thought of the day. Happy Monday to you. Today's thought of the day is going to be on the thought around wisdom. I was inspired by a church service yesterday and about the talents and strengths and how we are all unique creatures of God and all bring something to the table. And there was a scripture service that helped with it. Good morning, Sarah. Good morning, Peter. So I'm going to jump into it. Albert Einstein said, "Wisdom is not a product of schooling, but of lifelong attempt to acquire it." Lifelong attempt to acquire wisdom. And Charles Dickens says, "A loving heart is the truest wisdom." That's what I love. A loving heart is the truest wisdom. And I've really been studying that loving heart piece myself personally for quite a bit of time lately. And, I'm on repeat with a lot of my clients, and I was in Pennsylvania for a workshop. And we started off the conversation about saying, no judging yourself or one another, and no shaming yourself or one another. No judgment, no shame. And that is a loving heart, I think. So how do you gain wisdom? That's some of us are have wisdom. Some of us don't. So how do you gain wisdom? Well, I've got 5 things that I'm going to share with you guys that I think really, really help with gaining wisdom. And the first thing is try new things. If you keep doing what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. So trying new things is going to give us the wisdom to know what we like, the wisdom to know what we don't like, the wisdom to realize what we're good at, the wisdom to realize what we're not so good at. But that's the starting point of how to gain wisdom, is to try new things. Don't just keep doing the same things over and over and over again, expecting different results. The second thing is talk to people you don't know. That's an interesting one because most of us would shy away from that notion in today's society. Talk to people with different backgrounds and with different perspectives than yours, and pay attention to what you can learn from them. I once heard, and I think this would be phenomenal. I've never done it, but go to a church service that is completely opposite your church service, as an example, and be an outsider in a church service and gain a whole new perspective on how they worship and how they pray and all that kind of stuff. But that goes without saying. Try, talking to somebody at work that you don't know what they actually do, and job shadow them for a day and figure out what they do. And maybe you can gain some value from them, and maybe you can add value to them. The next one is do it the hard way. We've got it easy in society these days. I've really been studying that too. Do something hard every day is something that I've been really sticking to. But we've got it really easy. You want to get to, the grocery store, not the grocery store. Let's say you want to get across town and you don't know the address that you're going to. You plug it into your phone and your GPS tells you how to get there. So it's almost like if you want to gain some wisdom, don't turn on the GPS, but try to get there without the GPS. Try to figure things out and learn how to do things the hard way. I remember Lee telling me every time that we have this kind of conversation, she says, "Oh my gosh, I once drove to Florida using a map." Well, I would dare say that each of us probably needs to go back to trying something hard like that, where we have to really think and we have to really figure things out, because that's where you gain wisdom of what went right, what went wrong. But if everything's always easy, there's not a lot of wisdom gained. The next thing is make mistakes. People are afraid of making mistakes. They are afraid of how they'll look and how people will judge them and shame them for the mistakes they make. But making mistakes, allows for the experience to make us wiser. So, push the envelope on what we are all willing to do, and you'll gain the wisdom from that. And the last thing is share wisdom with others. And that's both be mentored by somebody and share with your mentor what you're doing and how you're learning, because that mentor will be able to add value to you because they're probably a little ahead of you. And also learn to mentor other people, real formalized. We're going to meet once a month and I'm going to help you achieve what I've achieved, or I'm going to help you live better values, whatever it is. But mentor other people and share some of the things that you have. That's what makes us wise. That is what makes us come together. And that's what makes this world more significant. So good morning, each of you. Good morning, Melissa. Good morning, Carissa. Good morning, Denise. Good morning, Rebecca. Happy to have you guys all in here. And I'm going to share some scripture and then I'm going to wish you a good day. James chapter 1, verse 5 says, if any of you lacks wisdom, hey, I'm talking, if any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault. No judgment, no shame from God. He loves us and it will be given to you. So I'm going to read that again. If any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you. I dare say the most wise thing any of us could ever do is spend more time with God. All right, you guys have a great day and go acquire wisdom, go share your wisdom, go become wise. Have a great Monday.